got kicked out, but we are back and we'll be wrapping up this conversation about the ongoing NSARS protest in Nigeria. So I was asking Reginald before it ended, what exactly does it say and what does it even mean? The IG of police will make a statement, a proclamation. Men of the Nigerian police force will tell you on the roads that he should come from Abuja and tell them how to do things. So how did we get that breakdown in basically in the infrastructure, in the system, that breakdown in respect to be such impunity? I also have to ask, there are
Okay, I think your network is it's unstable. Nasi, I hope I'm not the only one not hearing her. Yeah, she's not. Yeah, she got thrown off. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we're having connection issues on both our
Yeah,
sides here.
in fact, to speak to his point, which is an important point was making, I mean, whenever you have inefficiencies in the system, um, in any organization, systems will build around it, and that's what we see, in police, because of unmotivated, personnel, just now crop up within that system. And that's what happens. So you find all kinds of clusters of interest within the police. I mean, go to an average highway, connecting cities, and you see the behavior of policemen. They are like demigods on those roads.
Yeah.
They have no regard or respect to the garb that they even wear, the uniform they wear. But there is a hierarchy that leads, that funnels all that system. So, like Nasir said, we don't know if the police itself has the moral standing to reform itself, or we have to find an external and extraneous variable to impact on the system and create the change that is needed. For this to happen, it has to be an executive visionary position and undertaking, because it has to be a massive push by the executive to ensure that this happens. And police reforms takes time. It's not a snap of the finger. It takes time because it involves you also letting go of elements within the force itself that are not qualified to be there. You've got to see them. You have to now create a minimum requirements, entry requirements. I don't believe that anybody should join the police if you are not a graduate. I do not believe that, because some level of mental understanding, some level of mental, opening or mental position or mental. How do I put? Let me say. I don't want to use the word education because it may not be, but just an awareness.
Some kind of exposure or maturity.
Awareness, social intelligence. You understand? Emotional intelligence. needs to be attained by a person to be able to hold a gun. You understand? You are angry, you are hungry. You understand? Hold a gun and not misbehave. Understand? It comes with some level of training, but also the type of person who you are. So those are things that need to be looked at. You understand? And then, of course, to address the issue of compensation for the police. I often say that, look, you cannot pay the man who secures you peanuts. Understand? Your life is in danger. Neither can you pay the man who educates you peanuts. Your future is in danger. Understand? So we see all those problems in society. You pay the teachers poorly, you pay the health workers poorly, you pay the police poorly. What kind of society is that?
And the only people getting paid very well in Nigeria are politicians, but we do not get the commensurate return for what we pay them.
I don't have a problem with politicians being paid well, but let's just see. That's
Okay.
all.
Okay. So Nasser, you've heard his point, and he actually has answered what my last question would be: is where do we go from here? So he's talking about visionary change. It's police reform that's not going to happen overnight. It must be visionary. It must be sustained. We're looking at, of course, the remuneration of the police, how they're brought into the force, the trainings they have, but then also mentally up here, somebody who applies. And it's interesting that I remember one of these random articles you read, it talked about the type of people who go into policing and how police structures across the world must be careful as to the type of people who are drawn to the authority that comes with the uniform and and with the gun. But for you also, as we wrap up, where do we go from here? Protesters were out tonight. I'm not sure if there are overnight protests, but even if there are, people are willing to be there. Tomorrow they're resuming in several places across Lagos, in several places across the country. This is the weekend, so they have 2 days that they can really dig in their feet. What are your expectations going forward?
Can't hear you.
Okay, so Reginald, I'll ask you the same question as well. Where do we go from here? You've touched on it a bit in terms of what it looks like, visionary. I'm a Nigerian. I've been a Nigerian all my life. I'm going to die a Nigerian. I'm yet to truly see a visionary administration in this country. So probably like me, many people are not holding out for that. But even without being extraordinarily out of this world, there are basic things that government can do to get a handle on this situation, to rebuild public trust as well, and to address this issue. So going forward, what are you expecting?
See, look, we want to see a government that puts the people first.
Yes.
And because when you say put the people first, then it affects many things in society and the approach to governance. Now, if the people are the most important aspect, understand, of governance, then it will help you decide how then do we ensure the best welfare of the persons. So the issue of state police or not is not going to be one about politics. It's going to be about what delivers the best welfare for Nigerians, the best security welfare for Nigerians. You understand? So what we need to see is the visionary leadership from the president, stand to the Senate president, to the judiciary, to say we need to sit down and identify what does it mean to be a Nigerian? What's the value of one Nigerian? And how do we enhance that value of one Nigerian? What are the systems then we should build in place to enhance the value of one Nigerian so that he can live the best life and deliver the best value back to society? That's where the conversation starts from, because then that will now influence the kinds of policies which we put in place to effect change, including what happens to the police force. Because the police force is just one element. It's symptomatic of the sickness in society. Understand? And so we can, yes, end SARS, close the chapter and end it, but the problem hasn't been solved. So so what I want to see is that visionary move to solve problems. What have we done in this country and done in a big way that has created lasting change that other countries want to come and learn from, apart from maybe the banking sector reforms? That's what we want to see.
Okay.
Let's make the change that improves the life of the Nigerians and gives more meaning to a Nigerian. And then we can begin to talk about building a society that really honors its citizens. And it's an example and a desirable place for people to live.
So I actually lied. I thought I was done, but I have one final question, and this goes to your area of expertise, Reginald. We're seeing places now where youth are attacking police officers when these situations happen. The Nigerian police is overstretched. The military is in place in different places across the country. We have Boko Haram, we have armed robbery, we have kidnapping, we have banditry. The police cannot adequately handle the internal security of the country. And now you possibly have a situation where citizens are turning against them. In terms of the security situation of Nigeria, what do you think this speaks to? Where could this take us if government does not adequately address? This will be my final question.
I mean, how many policemen do you think we have in the country? I mean,
not enough. Not enough.
Yeah. So we can't even begin to address. We have approximately 200 million Nigerians within the geopolitical borders of this country. 200 million. How many policemen do you think it will take? So what will happen is that the police force itself is going to allocate resources to areas that best benefit their own intentions. And that's what we see. Understand? But when you begin to see people react and respond that way, number one, it means that they have no respect for the policemen. And that's a problem already in society. That tells you that there's a fundamental breakdown in law and order in society. And that's when you have a breakdown in law and order, it is the level that precedes the absolute death, corruption, and death of the system. So what that tells us is that the system is heading downhill towards death and then decay. So, but the good thing is that at that point in the curve, it can be salvaged, and which is to have a collaborative approach with the people, bringing the people into the system. You understand? Work with the governors, work with the state reps and all that, and come up with a holistic approach to how do we address the problem of our security and security organizations, and then solve the problem from the grassroots upwards. You understand? So that it's a case where the people know that the police is for them. And that's when we start talking about the concept of community policing. You understand? Whereby the police is integrated into the community. They have an understanding of the people. They live with the people, and they protect the interests of the people. So I think that that's the one way that we can begin to look at practical ways of solving problems.
All right. I will let you go today. Thank you so much, Nasir. Thank you so much, Nasir Afolabi Agbalaya, Nigerian journalist, content creator. He's also a tech enthusiast and very much a chronic civic volunteer. Nasir, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it this evening. Also, Reginald Bassey, he is a co-founder and director of business for Watchman Security. You can follow both of them here on HAPS, and they, of course, have content coming out of Nigeria. As long as protests are happening concerning EndSARS, I'll be making sure every few days to check in with the HAPS community and let you know what the conversation is like. As soon as there's an update, we'll also bring that to you. So, gentlemen, Reginald and Nasir, I want to say a very big thank you again for your time this evening. I look forward to doing this again.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for those who tuned in. We will do this again in the next few days, or even if before that. Protests are ongoing in Nigeria, slated for tomorrow in Lagos, in several parts of the city, slated for several parts of the country as well. So you can follow me, follow at Nasir, follow at Reginald, as well as and a number of other Nigerian journalists on the platform as well, because it is the number one trending topic in the world. It's the number one topic we are talking about in Nigeria, and we'll definitely let you know what any updates are. I want to say a very big thank you to all who tuned in. Until next time, this has been the Tab Report. I'm Tolu Lokwe Adila Balogun. Do have a pleasant day.